their products from farm, while also supporting agribusinesses to ensure that they have digital identity for their products throughout the entire supply chain activities. I'm excited to be having this session today to speak to everyone. And to facilitate this session, we will be discussing how to leverage the Internet of Things and digital traceability for the nutrition business, also to help you position yourself for the market that is available. I heard someone asking a question around, oh, we've all learned about these certifications. We are going to be learning about this IoT and traceability. How are we going to be making profits from it? And these are some of the things that we'll be speaking to into this session. So if you don't mind, kindly use the chat box to introduce yourself and where you are joining from. So we know that we have a diverse audience here. I'll give you about a minute to do that, and we'll get into the session while I share my video, my screen rather. Okay, Nigeria, uh, Nigeria, Nigeria.
Hello, everyone.
Hi, Ezemako. Hi, Linda. Okay, Malawi. Oh, we have a lot of people from several African countries. That's nice. Good to see. Okay, so I'm sharing my screen now. Kindly confirm if you can see my screen.
Yes, we can see it.
Okay, awesome. All right. So before I go deep into this topic, I want to hear from one or two people. All right. Someone should, Lee, can we unmute someone? After I ask the question, first person to raise his hands up, we can unmute the person and the person speaks today. So what do you understand by leveraging IoT, that is Internet of Things, and digital traceability for market positioning in nutrition sensitive agribusiness? In just one sentence, what do you understand by that? I know the sentence explains itself, but I also want to hear from you to understand um, your thoughts about this topic that we are considering today. You kindly help me. Has anyone raised up their hand?
Uh, yes,
Okay, I can.
Chelimo Koet, go ahead.
Yeah,
What I
actually, you can go
understand,
ahead.
okay, what I do understand about leveraging Internet of Things is maybe in terms of real-time tracking, maybe to allow continuous monitoring from farm to shelf, especially for nutrition-sensitive products. Thank you.
Awesome. What it is I'm presenting today is meeting what your expectations are. Sorry, others, you can just kindly put your hands down for now as we go deep into the session. Thank you very much.
Sorry, Joseph, you're kind of
Session.
breaking. We are losing you. You're kind of breaking. So maybe you can just turn off your video since you're in presentation mode.
Can you now?
Yes, please. You can go ahead. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Thank you very much, Lee, for that. So yeah, are they already putting their expectations in the chat box?
Yes, chat box, not yet. I think that's where we lost you. So maybe the instruction was not clear.
Okay, so yeah, I asked that you put in your expectations, what you're expecting to get out of today's session in the chat box. So once we get one or two people response, you can just read that out to me. Thank you.
Okay, so what is your expectation from today's session? And especially maybe if you're in agri-tech, you can tell us what you're hoping to learn from this session. You please use the chat box, not the Q&A box for that. Anybody? Okay,
No
so I guess
response yet?
I guess it's something long to start typing, but I thank you, Prof. for Scovia. Is saying to discover how I can implement traceability in my business. Ebele is saying I learn how to integrate digital traceability to my egg quality monitoring. That's a good one. So
Okay.
yeah, so that's good feedback. You can go ahead. Thank you. I'll maybe I can read one more from Ifeino says I would like to learn how to leverage the internet to increase my product visibility and market reach. Jumai Victor says learn how to track and manage losses in our cool rooms. And finally, Ruth says my expectation is to make my brand to be globally recognized and link for export.
Awesome. Awesome. These are very profound expectations. So yeah, the agenda that I've set out to discuss in today's session, firstly, would be doing an introduction into what um, IoT is, and digital traceability will be laying the foundation as to why it is necessary, and the new era of food safety, and why we need to be conscious about what we are consuming. And we'll take a deep dive again to see how we can tap into IoTs that exist in the Internet of Things that exist in, and how digital traceability is one of them, and how we can implement it in our several businesses, and why we must care about it now. And lastly, we would talk about how to implement some of these things in a budget-friendly manner, right? Because I know when you talk about technology in agriculture, many people start considering the cost as to what the outcomes or the results will be at the end of the day. Also, and lastly, we'll go through a case study of one of the solutions that we have developed on our end, and we'll go into the breakout rooms, answer some questions, come back to present, and we'll have question and answer sessions. I'm sure at the end of this session, everyone will be able to leave here with something tangible that they can implement in their business going forward. So yeah, why exactly what are the problems that are existing as of today when it comes to food, to nutrition generally? Currently, over 500 million Africans suffer from eating hunger, and post-harvest losses has become a norm, right? Many of you can agree with me on this. Also, there are rising safety concerns. People are getting conscious about what they are consuming. Foodborne illnesses have also been on the rise, like, and there's been frequent disease outbreaks that has cost over 1.2 billion dollars annually, according to the FAO, and also due to the inconsistent product quality because of the way things are going on currently across the continent and across the world. So many businesses are trying to increase the price of their products while also reducing the quality, which is now affecting with the consumers. And at the end of the day, we'll be discussing here as businesses and also as consumers of what the agricultural sector provides to us to consume. Also, there's lack of traceability. Lack of traceability has blocked access to premium markets. And premium market does not necessarily mean exporting out of the country, but even within your own country, you can discover that there are some people that are getting paid more money for selling certain things that you sell because they have traceable records, because they've crafted a story around how their operations, what their processes looks like, and how they've been able to ensure that they are keen into technology to tell that story effectively. Also, we understand that the current systems that are in place are manual, they are paper, and they may not serve agribusiness itself. And also the fact that we might have infrastructural problems and internet connectivity might be an issue. So there's a new era at the moment, and the new era is an era of nutrition, trust, and traceability. And this brings me to a question, and I would like you to answer it in the chat box. Is your food safe? Now, you have to answer from two aspects, right? As consumers, the food that you consume, are you sure it's safe? One. Secondly, as businesses that play in agriculture, that play across the value chain, are this are the things we are producing safe for other people to consume? Yeah, so I'll be expecting to see your comments in the chat box. Okay, I'm still expecting comments. Is your food safe from a consumer point of view? Everything that you consume. Richard said no, because of increased use of herbicides and pesticides in Uganda. As a consumer, I believe my food is safe. and I also produce safe food. Okay, different people with different thoughts. Yes, my product is safe. Not really as a consumer, I'm not sure anymore. Not entirely. And these are valid points. These are valid things, all your comments, whether you agree it's safe or not, it's a question that needs to be asked. And this brings me to my next question. Do you know where your food comes from? So I'm sure, I don't know what the time is, but let's assume every one of us here have consumed something, have taken in something today. Now, a question of, do you know where what you consumed today came from? Like, can you tell the step-by-step process that went into the production of that? Okay, I ordered online. I don't know. No, I have no idea at all. Not really. Not at all. The food I eat, 90% I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. No, no. So so we are gradually coming to the point where we need to start knowing and start asking these questions, right? And that's where we are going to be. We are going. Those are things we are going to be discussing today. And what is IoT in itself? Uh, IoT simply means Internet of Things, and Internet of Things can come in different form, right? They can either, at the end of the day, the goal of this IoT is to be able to sense and collect data and send data. So if you have a poultry farm, you can use sensors to be able to track the number of birds that you have there. You can use sensors or IoT, forms of IoT to be able to know, oh, what is their average food intake, what is their feed conversion ratio, what is the light situation, how can I turn on the lights in the farm. If I'm using a brooding pen for a start, how can I turn on the light in the farm without being there? How do I ascertain the GPS location of my farm? How do I ensure if I'm having a cold storage facility, how do I put in place a smart cooling system whereby once the temperature increases, automatically my smart cooling system comes on, and my whatever it is I've put there still maintains the same temperature. For the cold storage facilities for perishables, how do I maintain the temperature, right? How do I ensure that things are going on as they ought to be? And even without internet, local devices and apps, you can still collect this data, you can still collect this information. And this will take me into some another question I would ask. In what form? How many of us here are implementing some things around this? If you are, just type I am in the chat box. How many of you have firstly heard of the word IoT, Internet of Things? Secondly, how many of you have in one way or the other implemented some sort of things like this? Low scale technologies, it might be thermometer for a start, right? It might be humidity, what you use to read humidity. It might be what you use to store your product, right? Or maybe you have a cold storage facility, but how do you know the temperature of your cold storage facility? How do you even get to know where your farm area is um is is presently? So yeah, let's check the chat box. Okay, yes, I do. I have my Victoria. Good question. Please use. Okay. Won't IoT increase my cost of SMA? Yes, we are coming to that. Don't worry. John, please remind me of this. Lee, please remind me of John's question later on. Um, okay, I am implementing some of these, but I don't know of I didn't know of IoT before now. Okay, Linda, can you please unmute and speak? What are the things you're implementing that I didn't know was IoT before now? Heidi, can you unmute Linda?
Linda, you can go ahead and mute yourself. She struggled before, so I think we can just go ahead.
Okay. That's fine then. Okay, so I can see that almost, I don't want to use a percentage now because there is no pool, but from the response I'm getting, I can see we all know what IoT is, and some of us have been implementing some of these things without even knowing about it. But if you don't know about it, fine, good, you know about it now. And oh, hi Linda, are you the one speaking?
Hi, can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
I work where I use nuts, oil palm nuts, this sprouted nuts for oil palm. So we monitor the temperature once they get to our farm. We keep them in a kind of cold room and use the thermometer to monitor the temperature, because you have to plant out once they get to you in 48 hours. And the temperature needs to be low. So I used it before now, but I've not heard of IoT before now.
Yeah. All right. Thank you. Thank you very
Thank
much for
you.
that.
Thank you.
Yeah, so you can mute yourself, please. So yeah, exactly. That's another example, right? Like I said, it must not necessarily be high-end technologies, right? The most important thing is, are you collecting data across your processes? So for instance, you run a poultry farm. Birds were supplied to you today as day-old chicks, right? Do you know the temperature at which those birds were supplied to you at the point of entry? Do you know how many birds were supplied to you? Do you know what their origin was, or is, before it got to your farm? Now that they're in your farm, are you taking records of the amount of feed you are giving them, or you are just providing, distributing feed to them as you wish, right? Just putting it on their in their trays and allowing them to consume as much as they would consume, right? These are, you can use IoT manually, manually. So Internet of Things. So the next one, now we have an idea about this. The next thing we'll be talking about now is, why is digital traceability important? Why does it matter now more than ever? And remember, I mentioned that digital traceability is a form of IoT. And firstly, I want you to know that traceability is the passport to premium markets. Many of you might not agree with me for now, but as we go further into this session, you would see that it is actually the passport to premium market. And why is it the passport to premium market? Traceability provides you with the ability to trace and track your farm products, your food products from farm to fork. And how is this possible? So, simple example, I produce maize. I'm going to use crop for an example now. I produce maize. On a normal day, I will go to the market, get inputs, come to my farm, clear my farm, do the necessary land preparation. That's if I'm planting outside, like on an hectare of land or so. Do the necessary land preparation and go on to plants. Apply the necessary things. And at the end of the day, when it's time for harvest, I go there, plug my maize, and either I start processing it or I sell directly to the market. Because I carried out just that process without documenting anything, the amount or the price I would sell my products will be lesser than someone who has documented that I bought my inputs from seed company A, B, and C. I bought my fertilizer, that's if I'm using fertilizer, from fertilizer company A, B, and C. Or I did not use fertilizer, so my process is purely organic. Now, someone documenting that his process is purely organic would definitely catch my attention more, and I will pay more for it because I know, oh, fertilizer did not go into it. It is more organic. It is purely organic. Now I have gotten my inputs and I come to my farm processes and I say, I did this on day this, right? I cleared my farm. I did not use human labor to clear my farm. I used technological tools to clear my farm. Oh, maybe I employed the use of a tractor, or I employed the use of of something, basically a mechanized yeah, a tool, a farm mechanized equipment, sorry. Yeah, to provide that, to clear my farm or to do something on my farm. And I documented that and I put the date at which I did that. And I come back and I say, okay, I planted on so date. I provided water on so date. And the water that I used was gotten from this. Is it rainwater? Is it well water? Is it stream? Is there a stream close by? Or is it irrigation that I employed for this, right? Going further, I would say, okay, these are the types of processes I carried out after I had planted to ensure that my product was whole throughout the life cycle on the soil. right, on the medium on which I planted it. And when it's time for harvest, I collect data again and I say I harvested on so day, and this is the quantity on which of products I harvested on so hectare or so size of farm. You collect all this data. Now I know you might be saying, oh, this is a lot of information that I need to collect, but this is the basics of traceability, data collection. After you've collected all this data, let's assume you are just a producer and you don't process. You have all this data that you've collected across your operations, across everything you've done during production. You document them and say, now I have a document that contains everything that I've gone through, every process that I've put into this production of this maize. If I'm selling to a company or to an organization that is conscious about what they buy, that is conscious about what they consume, they will prioritize me and pay me better, they'll pay me more value over someone that just came to them and say, oh, I have so quantity of maize to sell and I'm selling it to you. They would also have that product that has traceable records would also be processed in a form that is targeting a separate market of people that are very nutritious conscious, that are very conscious about what they consume, such that they earn more from them than they would earn from the normal market. Are we together? If you followed me, kindly comment that yeah, you followed me. Okay. Thanks. Documenting is the process. The process is paramount for importance. That's true. Yes, I collect data, I produce you. Okay, I use the aggregator in my operation. Exactly, use the aggregator. So let us know what exactly do you do with the aggregator? To what temperature or to what moisture content do you reduce your grains to while using the dehydrator? So back to what I was I'm talking about why is digital traceability important? Why does it matter more now than ever? Firstly, consumers of today want to trust what they eat. Want to trust what they eat. They want to know the safety. They want to know whether it's quality. They want to know its origin, and they want to know the nutritional claims that matters. In very established and regulated climes, if you produce something and you say it is so percent nutritious, it contains so percent maybe 9% protein or so, and someone consumes it, and maybe they consumed it because it contains that amount of protein, and after consumption they feel like, oh, it does not contain that amount of protein or so that you've claimed it is, they can sue you to court. And if the court carries out their own findings and they realize that you just put that claims there without having records to back it up, then you are going to pay a lot of fine. And this is what is happening today, especially in Europe, right? Consumers want to know where their food is coming from. People are conscious about what the nutritional quality and is. People are conscious about what they will get, what value they will get back if I put in my $1 or my 1,000 naira to get this product. Also, for SMEs, like businesses now, we've looked at it from the consumer point of view. Now we are going to look at it from the SME point of view, which is as businesses, as agribusinesses, especially for those of us that are into processing and are selling perishable foods or biofortified products, right? People want to know if you are putting in the effort to ensure that nutrients is not lost across for the product, and you are improving the safety as well. And at the end of the day, this will help you strengthen your brand trust, because now that you have digital traceable records, right? I know most of these things that we've talked about now they might be documented in a book, but I'm coming to the place where we'll be employing technology to document these things appropriately. Once you have these records, it helps people trust you more, right? Imagine you have a label on your product as a processor, for instance, now, or even as a farmer, right? You've been privileged to have access to IoT. You're able to generate QR codes now, that all this information that you have collected during your production or processing operations, you now tag them to a QR code and place it either on the basket or on the nylon on which you use to package your poultry beds, your dressed poultry beds, or you put it on the sack or on the bag that you use to bag your product. that when someone scans the QR code, the person gets detailed information on the product's journey, the product's quality, the nutritional value that they will gain. The next time I want to buy such products, I already know that I got it from this person and I trust this person, and I will definitely come back to buy from you. And directly or indirectly, you are creating a niche for yourself, a brand trust that people can know you for. That is a form of marketing, though. So you are positioning yourself for the market that is existing. Quick question: how many of us are aware about the African Free Continental Trade Agreement that has just been signed? How many of us are aware? If you are aware, just type "I am aware." The African Free Continental Trade Agreement. That okay, I am aware. Okay, how about the European Union regulation on traceability and deforestation? Okay, I can see some responses. Good. Now, these regulations, these agreements have made it stricter, very strict for businesses like you and me to be able to trade across borders. And why we will say it's strict, these are things that they are doing to ensure that the people that are consuming these products are safe as well. So now everybody is prioritizing traceability. Okay, you want to supply to my country, I want to move products from Nigeria to Ghana. Ghana would ask me, provide your certificate of origin, provide your digital traceability record. So I know if this meets the standard of what I have set for my people to consume. I want to export to Europe, right? Europe will ask me, where are your traceability records, right? Does it meet the standards that we have set in terms of what our people should consume as food? If no, then you cannot supply to our market. And now you now continue to trade within the local market where people do not care about what they consume. Yes, we understand that traceability is still in its early days, and the people that are becoming very conscious about what they consume are still like a minute percentage of the entire 100%. But we as businesses should position ourselves for this. Yeah, the third reason why traceability matters is the high value markets increasingly favors products that are nutritious, safe, and transparent. And I know I've spoken about this. People want to know that your product is nutritious, yes. They want to know that your product is safe, yes. But how do they know that your processes are transparent if you don't tell me that your processes are transparent, if you don't have records to back them up, right? So these are things that I can do. Okay, someone is asking, how can I profitably? Okay, Richard is asking a lot of questions. Don't worry, we'll answer your questions. Now, lastly, tools like IoT and digital traceability are no longer futuristic. They have become tools that are essential for us. We don't want to be earning $1 on the same product that another person is earning $6 to $10 on, because just because they've adopted traceability, just because they've adopted the Internet of Things into their operations. Why must you care? Now we've looked at the importance, but now we are going to dig deep and see why must you care? What is the market advantage of Internet of Things, of digital traceability? Firstly, like I said earlier, you need to move from doing what you are doing now to becoming more transparent. Oh, someone is making some edits on the document. You need to move from doing what you are doing now to becoming more transparent. And only when you are transparent will you be able to assess premium prices for premium. Will you be able to fix premium prices for your products? You cannot sell plantain chips to me in just a nylon without anything telling me what went into the production of these plantain chips, and you expect me to buy that plantain chips for more than 200 naira in Nigeria. I'm using Nigeria for example. But if you package that plantain chips and you tell me what processes went into these plantain chips, oh, this plantain is variety A, B, or C, and it was processed as thus. It was cut, it was fried, or it was done, produced using so. Firstly, maybe it's organic plantain. There was no fertilizer used. It was not the ripening was not quickened, right? You document all these things, and then you tell me, oh, this is the type of oil or vegetable oil I used. These were the types of processes that went into the handling. Oh, these were the types of operations it was not left outside to dry under the sun, and all those things, I would gladly pay over 1,000 naira for that product, because I know that this thing that I'm consuming, a lot of processes, a lot of things have gone into it to ensure that it's safe for me to consume. Now, when I eventually consume that product, that plantain chips, right? And let's start from the positive point of view. When I eventually consume that plantain chips and I like it, and I see that I've been consuming this thing and I've been seeing some good traces of the effects on my body, right? In my body, right? The taste to how it has made my body, maybe because of the nutrients that I eat, my body is becoming fresh and certain things. I would continue to prioritize them, that plantain chips vendor or the producer or the processor, and I will continue to physically market for them. Whenever people ask me for plantain chips, oh, I know someone that you can definitely buy from. Their prices are good. Their product is safe for consumption. They have traceable records and all that. Now, from the negative side, if I eventually buy, or when I eventually buy that product and I don't like get value for my money, or maybe I consume the plantain chips and the next thing I'm doing is I'm having running stomach and I'm running to the toilet, I have someone I can hold responsible, right? Because this is what they've claimed to do. This is one example, right? Yeah, someone mentioned about certifications earlier on the call, and having digital traceable records or traceable records for traceability and employing IoTs can help you assess certifications easy. Now, what are the questions? What are the things they ask you to provide when you want to do certifications, maybe for HACCP or for GAP certifications, or for that's good agricultural practice certification, or the hazard one that I mentioned earlier, or other certifications, right? Most of these things that they would ask you for are things that are already supposed to have been collected across your production and processing, your operations across production and processing. But because we do not collect these things, whenever we want to go for certifications, we now start stacking up a lot of physical documents and start saying, oh, please help me document this, help me document that. What are the processes that go into this? Okay, how many batches of plantain chips do we produce? Have we taken them to the lab? What does the test say about our product? If you have employed traceability, digital traceability, and you've employed Internet of Things to your operations, you are monitoring the temperature, maybe using a physical thermometer, you are measuring you are taking records of the humidity, you are ensuring that all your guidelines are in line with what they are required, and you are documenting this thing effectively and appropriately to meet the standard, not that you are cooking up data or cooking up records, then your certification process will be easier, right? Oh, we understand that regulators also have their own end to play where they come for inspection. But when they come for inspection and what you've submitted, it meets the exact standard with what you are doing, then why should they take long in certifying your processes? Another advantage is the fact that, like I said earlier, is that it helps you build brand trust and loyalty, right? Also, it helps you assess health conscious buyers. Now, you are not just selling to the entire market, to the general market that basically or mostly buy for survival or buy for consumption sake, but you are selling to people that want to buy what you are producing because they know how it's going to have effect on their health. In today's world, cancer has become something that they are sharing. Like I would not say like biscuits, right? You turn to your left or you turn to your right, you know at least like maybe one or two people that maybe have cancer. And when you look at some of these things, sometimes it boils down to what we are consuming. Sometimes it boils down to what we've exposed ourselves to in terms of food and all that. But sometimes to the chemicals that we consume. Maybe the poultry farm, they use certain antibiotics which they are not supposed to use, and because they are in it for the business and for the money, they quicken the size of the poultry beds. The chemical that was, or the antibiotics that was ingested into the animal had not fully flushed away, and they dress the animal and sell it out to the entire market. Now people start consuming that chemical alongside the chicken, the meat the poultry meat that they are consuming, and it will definitely have adverse effects on their health. And at the end of the day, you see people going to the hospital and saying, I don't know what's wrong with me. I ate this, blah blah, and then they carry out tests and they tell you, oh, you have been diagnosed with this or you have been diagnosed with that. And as businesses, we need to be conscious about how, and this leads us to the more impact. As businesses, we need to be conscious about what we are producing, what we are processing, what we are packaging, what we are doing, how it has effect on the lives of the people that are consuming it. We don't just want to be making money. There's something I always say: your business should be profitable, it should be impactful, and it should be sustainable. So when it's profitable, yes, you are making money, but the lives of the people that are consuming it, how is it changing their lives? How is it contributing to their life? Your processes, your activities, are they sustainable enough? Are they keeping the environment safe? Or are you also contributing to carbon emission? So these are questions we also need to ask ourselves. Before I continue, I would like to see if we are all following. Just put something in chat box saying I'm following, I'm following, I'm following, I'm following. Okay, okay, no responses yet. Are there still people on the call? Okay, I'm following, I'm following. Just 3 people. Okay, okay. Can I get more? Okay, awesome, awesome. All right, thank you. Now, we've looked at it from the angle of verified nutritional claims, the strong brand trust and loyalty. We've talked about easier access to certifications. We've talked about access to health-conscious buyers. But now let's look at some things from the business aspect as well. How many of you have tried to export your product or to sell your products to countries or to people that are conscious about what they consume? And they tell you either to send the products over or to send samples over. And when you send samples over, then they tell you, oh, your product does not meet our standards. And when they try to send the product back to you, it takes a while before the product comes to you. And when it eventually comes back to you, that is if it eventually comes back to you, it comes back spoiled or damaged. And also, you are now contributing to post-harvest losses. Has anybody ever experienced that? No one has experienced that. Okay, someone said no. Jennifer said yes. Yeah, someone said yes. Someone said no. Yes. But do you know that this entire process of sending your product first, they will also do lab tests in their end. On their end, they will check, then they will see if it meets their standards, and then if it meets their standards, they will now tell you to send more, or if it does not meet their standards, they will ask you to, they will return it to you. All those processes can be easier if you had just documented your processes, if you had just had digital traceable records for your operations. And this scenario that I just described is what happens in export market regulations. Many of us want to tap into the export market, but nobody will allow you export to their country if they don't know the origin of your products. You can't just come and tell me with your mouth, oh, when I was producing this banana, I did not add fertilizer. Okay, what is the evidence that I did not add fertilizer? Are there digital traceable records that I can use to verify that you did not add fertilizer in your product? Oh, we are not contributing to carbon emission. How can I effectively ascertain that? How many carbon credits have you been able to access due to your operation, due to your processes? Okay, we are not employing child labor in our processes. How can I effectively ascertain that? We did not engage in deforestation during the production of this. How can I ascertain that? You can't just come and tell me with your mouth. You can't just come and tell me with words. You need to show me with traceable records, with records that are time-stamped across your processes. Sorry, hold on, please. Right? So this is the importance of traceability. This is the importance of transparency. This is the importance of employing technological tools across your processes. You cannot just come and tell me that, oh, my product is less than 15% moisture content. Okay, here is the result. Here is the test results. And you and I know you cannot just pack all these documents and send them to whoever it is you want to supply to. You will have to send your product over first, and they carry out their own analysis, or you send the digital records to them. The same thing for those of us in Nigeria, for NAFDAC. Oh, they want to come and check and see, okay, you've claimed that this is what you do, right? But in reality, this is what you are doing. They will collect some of your products and take them to the lab. But all these processes can be streamlined to ensure that we have operational efficiency if we employ digital traceability, if we employ technological tools, if we employ low scale level IoT. You might just start from using Excel sheets to document these things, ensuring that nobody has access to it apart from the person that is entering the data, right? And at the end of the day, the most important thing that traceability, digital traceability, and Internet of Things helps us to do is it helps us to reduce food waste. Because the entire products that you are sending and they are sending back to you, at the end of the day, to get to a point where you can't sell that product again because it's no longer at the market standard. Even when you sell them at prices that, oh, let me just get something that, oh, I know I sold it off. But with this record, you can be able to increase your profitability. For those that are asking questions of, oh, as an SME, if I employ this, how will you increase my profitability? You're able to increase your profitability by about 20% just because you have this record. Is someone saying, sorry?
It's okay. Go ahead.
All right. Thank you. So you're able to increase your profitability by about 20% because you have this record. You're able to tell your story well. You're able to position yourself for certain markets that are in place. Now, how to implement it without big budget? I know many of us will say, and we've been saying it either in the questions or in the chat box, saying, oh, so how can I implement these things without big budget? I don't have so much money. I'm an SME. I don't have much. Start small. Start small. How many of us here know Excel, Microsoft Excel or Google Sheets? For a start, use these things to document your processes. Use them to document your operations. Don't just keep it in your head. You cannot actually remember everything. You buy a seed, a bag of seed or a pack of seed today. Document it. What is the name of the organization that I bought this seed from? What is the producer's name? What is the quantity of seed in it? What are the things that were written on the body? And this is why when you buy certain products, you see that on the body there's QR code. They'll tell you scan me to get detailed information on the journey. Or you see that this is so percent this. This is 1% that. Someone is raising his hand.
No, it's okay. We can go ahead and we'll take the question, please.
Okay. All right. So document these processes. Okay, now you've documented this process. You've documented everything. How do you now tell your story to position yourself for the market that is existing? And this is where we have AI. Yes, I want to believe that many of us here know about Gemini, ChatGPT, Cloud, give based on the information. Let's say for a start, you don't even know the data to collect for your processes. Go to AI and say, I am a maize farmer, or I am a poultry farmer, or I am into the processing of these products. I'm into the processing of maize into flour for pap or whatever it is. I'm into the business of processing beans into flour for bean cake production, and so on and so forth. And I want to keep traceable records to meet the European Union standards for export, or to meet the African Free Continental Trade standards for certificate of origin. Create a template for me. Now, with that template, you now know the data to collect across your operations, to collect across your processes. If you want to get certain certifications, okay, you've not started maybe your next phase of production, or you want to start a new batch of production and you want to get certified for one of the certifications, go to these AI platforms that have been provided to us. Meta AI, ChatGPT, that is OpenAI, Gemini, Cloud, the Apple guys to also have their own, and ask it. I want to keep traceable records of my so type of business, right? What are the data I should collect to meet these certifications? And when and how should I start collecting them? Then you create a Google Sheet, or you create a Google document, or you create a Microsoft Excel document to document all these things. So today you collected either your kgs. Okay, I collected my kgs from so 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 and so. The kgs is so so and so size. It was made out of this and this. It will be able to take so so number of beds, 200 beds. And my estimate is if I have 200, if I have 2000 layer beds, I should be able to get 60 crates of eggs on a daily basis. You've documented that and you've put a time stamp on it and a date stamp. Day two, what did you do? I got feeds or I got the other things that I needed, feeders, drinkers, and all those things. You document your processes. Once you are done documenting all this process, you take it back again and give it to the AI and say, I have been able to put together all these data points based off the templates that you provided me with. Now, I want to present this data in a way that positions me for this market. Are we following? Hello? Okay, good. Thank you, Jumai. In a way that positions me for this market or in a way that positions me for the Kenyan market, right? And then it will help you restructure and put all your data points in a story format and give you points. Okay, this is the farm at which this product was produced from or it was processed at. This is the location where it was processed at. These are the operations that went into it. The process is purely organic. They are keeping with so and so with the HACCP standards of production of processing. They are NAFDAC certified. They do not employ key children in their production or in their processes, operations, and all that. This is how they are in line with sustainability standards. And you put it in a document, copy the link to the document, and go online and search for QR code generator. Link the document to a QR code generator, print out the QR code print out the QR code that has been generated for you, and place it on your product. Now, once you package your product and you have a QR code on it, once the person scans the QR code, what details does the person get access to? To everything that went into the production of the product, to everything, to who handled it, to the name of the farm, to the location of the farm, to, okay, the temperature at which the storage house was at the time it was stored in the house, to the type of transportation that was used. Did you make use of bicycles so that you would not burn fuel and contribute to carbon emission? Or did you make use of train? Or did you make use of vehicles as well? All these things are now tagged, linked to the QR code. So now, for instance, if I want to buy your product and I see a QR code on it, because I'm conscious about what I'm consuming, the first thing I do is to scan the QR code. Once I go through the details that the QR code links me to, I now make a decision whether or not I am to buy what you are selling to me. Now, if I buy it, I trust you. You've given me a reason to trust your brand. And once I consume it and it meets the standard, and in your documents, and after you've taken it to the lab, and you've also documented the lab results, you now say, okay, these are the nutritional content or the nutritional value. Sorry, can you still hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Yes, we can.
Okay. These are the nutritional contents, these are the nutritional value that can be found in my product. Once I scan that QR code and I see all this information, if I'm someone that is very, very big on impact and I want to give back to my society, maybe I'm a philanthropist. I know this person's product. Oh, she's currently doing maybe 500 kg per week production. How can I support her to do 1000 kg or 1500 kg per week? Just because I've seen your processes, I've seen what you do. And takes us back to how these processes helps you access funding easy. Oh, many of us are going through all the entire applying to several programs to be able to access funding. Yes, good, but have you been able to document your processes and position yourself for a market that would want you rather than you wanting them? Right? So these are things that makes funding access easier. The person might not even want to give you a loan. The person might just want to support you because they see that you are putting in the work. You are saving our planet as a whole. Now, using traceability platforms like ours at AgTro, you can be able to provide all these informations. You can be able to do all these things whereby you collect the data, we collect the data for you, we generate the QR codes for you, and all you just need to do is just to print it out and place it on your product. No hassle. And once people scan the product, they get the detailed information on the product's journey, the product's life, nutritional content, nutritional value. And instead of you now sending your product to export markets or to premium markets within your country first for them to verify or for them to carry out their own checks, instead, you could just send to them a platform, link to a platform that already has all your details. So they can go ahead and view those details for themselves and see. And that helps you build trust more. It still helps you save costs. It helps you reduce post-harvest losses. And it helps you in accessing premium markets because people now trust you and people know your processes. Before I go into the case study, which I would like to present, is there any maybe feedback? You can just put it in the chat box for now. Is there any feedback? Then we'll attend to that later.
Maybe so we can just go ahead because we already have 1 hour to go for the breakout rooms on the Q&A. We can go ahead and we'll pick up from the Q&A box once we're done with the breakout rooms. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. So on our end at AgroLink, we built a product called AgTro. And simply what it does is to streamline the entire process, the supply chain processes, right? If you zoom in a bit, you see that there's a dashboard here where you collect data for farmers. Specifically, this is for crop farmers. Oh, what is the farm name? What is the owner's name? Where is the location of the farm? What is the size of the farm? What's the latitude and the longitude? What's the phone number of the farm, the email, what are the types of processes or the certifications that you have. I will try to run you through a demo. Let me see if I can quickly do that. Sorry. Kindly confirm if you can still see my screen. Okay.
Yes, we can see.
Yes.
Okay, so I'm coming. Can you still see my screen? Can you see the video I'm about to play?
Page, actual linking, and this is what our platform looks like.
We can.
Right. You can see the service.
Can you see the video playing?
Yes, we can.
Yes.
Hi, Lee. Can you see the video playing?
Yes, we can. We can go ahead.
Okay.
This is the render, products passport, compliance management, analytics dashboard. And this is how we do it. Right. You can see success stories in our platform. Don't mind the presence, please. And this, yeah, so let's log in. Because I already have an account and I'm an admin, I'll show you what the admin dashboard typically looks like. So, yeah, so this is the dashboard that shows, sorry. This is a total admin dashboard, 156 users, active organizations, and a whole lot of things. If I toggle here, I see farmers, the active products on the platform, right? I see what traceability looks like. They can input their traceability details, farm records, harvest details, processing details. For processors as well, they can create new batches as well, and all. And this is what compliance page looks like for them so that they can add new compliance data. There's also a dashboard for distributors. You can see they can manage shipping, and then we have that of retailers. So you can see the overview of their product, traceable customer engagement as well. You can see the consumer dashboard. So you can see product, sustainability impact, you can see the product, you can see the stories of each product, right? Their journey, their story, their stakeholders, and everything that went on across the supply chain. So yeah, thank you.
All right. Thank you. Thank you very much for that. I hope you're able to get what the video was saying, what the demo was saying. Or was
Yes, but you
okay.
can also later, if people have questions, they can ask and you can explain to them.
Oh, all right. Is that better?
Yes, that was better. Although the video was
Oh,
a bit too fast. We couldn't get exactly what I don't know if
oh,
a live demo would be better.
okay, okay. So I will do a live demo now. All right. So can you see my screen now?
Yes, we can see.
Okay, awesome. So once you come to the platform, firstly, why is this important? It is very important because traceability is very important because you need to create digital identities for your products. And these digital identities will provide your whoever it is that is viewing them with complete history and your certification details. It will help you meet compliance. So either the European Union compliance or the NAFDAC, that is for Nigeria. And then the African Free Continental Trade Agreement requirements. So you're able to report compliance checks as well. There's also a dashboard that shows you how your products are doing. We've also integrated our solution with a marketplace such that for every product that is recorded on our platform, you are automatically linked to a marketplace that automatically provides you access to market, that positions you for premium markets, right? And how does it work? You come on the platform, you input your details, right? You create your once you input your detail, you automatically have a batch number and a QR code is generated for that product in which you've imputed, right? Then you track every step. So it's very important for you to have some of this data in place, or which will just help you migrate to the platform, or we now start all over and start helping you collect this data. And after the data is now collected, why it is collected, it is linked to the blockchain such that once the data comes in, it can never be changed, right? So you need to be very sure about what it is that you are putting in as a business, as an MSME or an SME. And why is it important for you to do that? Because it helps you enhance your brand trust. It helps you meet regulatory, it helps you comply with regulations. It helps you improve your operations efficiency, and it helps you access premium market. So this is more like a live demo now. So let me, so you can create an account on the platform, either as a farmer, a processor, a distributor, a retailer, a consumer. So a distributor as in transporter, a retailer, a consumer, or a regulator. So for consumers, the only reason why you maybe create a platform, create an account is for every product you scan, you have like detailed information about the products that you scan. And for regulators, it helps you meet compliance standard. It helps them verify your details immediately. So we are currently working closely to ensure that regulators are able to link their platform with ours, verify details, and make certification process easier. So I would not create an account now. You can create an account if you want to, but I'll try to log in into an existing account that I have here. So permit me to do that, please. Sorry that I'm taking a lot of your time. I hope you are following and you're enjoying this session as well. All right. So because I'm an admin, right, I get to see everybody's data. I get to see the number of users. I get to see the number of active organizations. I get to see supply chain. I get to see the system health, that is the entire health across the value chain. And I get to manage things. So let me show you what a farmer dashboard looks like automatically. So for farmers, right, this is what your dashboard looks like, right? This is an overview of what your dashboard will look like. You see your active products, you see your blockchain validations, you see your yield efficiency, you see your sustainability score, and then you see your harvest. So let's input some traceable records, right? So you can input your farm location, your product. So once you are done imputing this, there are some data that you need to impute across the value chain as well after imputing this. So you can, okay, I'm organically certified, and we are still going to add other certifications as time goes on. These are the harvest, you input your harvest details as well and say, okay, this is the farm I harvested my products from. These are the products. This is how it was harvested, maybe mechanized or manual or selective picking or combined harvester. Sorry that for now we are currently focused on like crops. There's a different platform for livestock as well. And then you can you can quantify what your harvest is. And automatically, there's a unique identifier that's provided to you. If you're also a processor, you input all your processing records, right? Oh, the test that was carried out, the test results, and then if you've passed the certification, you input everything. If you already have this existing data in digital format or in paper, as we've discussed earlier, you can import it as well. For processors as well, these are, yeah, you input the data here. And then for consumer on the other end, this is where you are building relationships with consumers. Oh, sorry. Sorry about that. For consumer end, yeah, you see the products that you scanned. You've seen the product that you saved. So whenever you want to purchase a product, you just easily come here and see, oh, these are the products I've scanned, these are the products I've saved, and you're able to see products across the supply chain. So let's see some of the products that are already on the platform. Okay, so let's pick these wheat, right? This is a QR code that has been generated for the wheat. So automatically, once you input the details, a QR code is generated automatically for that product, and a link is generated as well as a batch ID for the product. So you can download this and attach this to your product, or you can copy the link and send it to whoever it is that you are looking to sell this wheat to verify the information. You can also view the details of your product. So you are seeing the product's journey. So this is the product information, premium quality grain from Nigeria, production date May 12, expiry date May 12, 2027, batch number, certification, sustainable agricultural certified, fair trade certified. This is the location of the farm. These are the processing details that went into it. This is where it was, the processes, cleaning, drying, milling, moisture content, microbial analysis. If you have a dedicated retailer that you supply your products to, then their details will show here. So that's the only place they can buy your products from, right? Aside that, people can see the journey. Okay, so harvesting, processing, what else? Nothing. Okay, story. Okay, so this is the farmer that produced it. This is who the person is. He has been doing this for so many years. This is the sustainability impact. This is the community impact. So if you purchase these products, you are contributing to the lives of rural people in so location as well. In terms of processing, you can also see what went into it in terms of the journey as well in terms of the retail. And you can also see the stakeholders that were involved in the entire process. And this one is coming in. We are integrating that soon, verify authenticity. So they can just click on it and verify the authenticity of your product. For regulators as well, for distributors, they have their dashboard, overview of logistics, shipment tracking. Um, for regulators as well. So you're able to see, oh, supply chain verifications, what are the flags that are already there? What are the success stories? So let's try to see if we can get success stories. So challenges, manual inspection of paper documentation as we had challenges we were facing. When we integrated AgTrail, it made it easier for them, establish compliance alerts, and these are some of the results that they've been able to achieve, faster compliance as well. So I think let me just go back to my presentation.
Yes, just I think we need to get now because of time. You need to get
Yeah.
into
Going back to my presentation.
yes, thank you.
Hold on, please. I'm coming. Let me stop sharing and stop sharing. Come, I'm trying to pull up my document again. So sorry about that. Hold on, please. But yeah, while I'm trying to do that, we can, okay, yeah, it's opening already. All right, can you see my screen now?
Yes, it's loading.
Okay, thank you. So yeah, back to this. So we've talked about AgriPro as a tool, right? And yeah, so real-time QR code data tracking, helping you to collect data across the supply chain. It works offline. So simple, you map out your operations, input your data. It is immutable by the blockchain. It generates an automatic QR code for you. We have a case study with Farmatego, who is a processor in Oyo State, Nigeria. And with working with them, we'll be able to collect data of over 50 producers, that is farmers who supply them with products. And because of that, Farmatego have been able to access premium markets within Nigeria, and their certification process has become easier with NAFDAC. And also, they are looking to export out of the country. And they've been speaking with some clients just because they already have these traceable records in place. So we'll be going to breakout rooms now, right, Lee? Breakout rooms run now before questions, right?
Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah, so in the breakout room, we'll be carrying out an exercise. So you pick one of the products that one of you in the group offer. So depending on what the product is, it might be livestock, it might be crop, and then identify one stage across the supply chain where nutritional value could be lost. And now design or develop a way around how leveraging IoT and digital traceability, you can help trace and preserve the nutritional quality of that product and also ensure that that product is able to access premium markets. Is this clear? After that, you'd come back here and have a representative who gives a 1 minute group pitch about what your product is, the points at which you are monitoring, and how traceability is going to help your brand improve your market positioning and access to premium markets. And also brand trust. So is that clear enough? Let's see the chat box. Okay, see, I think they said,
Yeah, that's clear. So I've just posted the question so
okay,
that
how
we
many
can refer
minutes?
to it when we go. So
15
we'll have
minutes.
15 minutes for the breakout sessions because we need to come back into the room. So we'll, as we've done over the last couple of weeks, we'll create 7 breakout rooms with about 10 participants each. And then when you go into the breakout rooms, for those of you who have been there, what we've done is that someone will take the responsibility of being the group lead. And then this group lead will collect feedback from everybody in the team. And then that group lead will also be responsible for making the presentation when we come back into the main room after 15 minutes. Yes, the recording will be shared for sure. So for the breakout session, with 7 breakout rooms will be created now. You'll be taken into an automatic breakout room. The question is there. Please refer to the chat box. I've posted the question there. Please refer to that chat box when you are discussing with within your group. I'll try to broadcast it,
Very
but
much.
please refer to the chat box. So the timer will start counting, but I'll also be broadcasting when we have a countdown to the close of the breakout rooms. But the timer will start counting from 1 minute so that we can all come back to the main room. So for those who have been there the last couple of weeks, you know how we've been doing it. So 7 breakout rooms, someone to volunteer to be the lead, to take feedback from the team, and to present when we're back in the main room. So we'll be breaking into the breakout rooms just about now.
So I can stop sharing my screen while we do that.
Meeting room 1. Who is presenting on your behalf? Jennifer? Oh, sorry, you're unable to unmute? You can go ahead. Please unmute yourself, Jennifer.
Yes, thank you so much. Hello, everyone. My name is Jennifer Kahwa. I represent Group 1. Group 1 spinach farmers, and our name is Delicious Farm. So our speech goes like this. We are the Delicious Farm located in Naura, Kano State in Nigeria. Your health is our #1 concern. We grow our spinach in purely organic soils, package and transport it under controlled temperatures from farm to market, as fresh as can be, thanks to IoT. Thank you.
Thank you, Jennifer, and meeting room 1. So I will request Joseph to just make note of the presentations, and maybe you can, once we are done, because I don't think we'll have much time for Q&A, you can respond to the nature of the presentation or probably where they went amiss and where they got it right. Thank you, Joseph. So over to meeting room 2. Meeting room 2, please. Who's presenting on your behalf? Meeting room 2. Who was in meeting room 2? Please let us know who's presenting on your behalf. Maybe to save on time, different meeting rooms leaders, you can just mention on the chat box that you're presenting your name and the meeting room you're presenting for. But in the meantime, please, who's presenting for meeting room 2 because of time? Okay, let's go to meeting room 3. Group 3, please. There was some very lively. There are some very lively conversations in some of these groups. I don't know why nobody was present. Shabani, brother Shabani, you were there. I was in your group, so please go ahead.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Though I joined the group very late, I didn't meet up with the discussion, but there was someone there that was talking in the group. But can I just introduce my business?
No, please, for now, because of time, let's just stick to the agenda of the meeting rooms.
Okay.
All right, nobody from 2 or 3? Okay, Tandekile, go ahead for group 4. Tandekile,
Can I speak for?
Good afternoon, everyone.
Okay.
So the product that we picked was plantain chips, and the process where we identified the most nutrient loss was when we are now frying and baking the plantain chips, mainly looking at vitamin C, B vitamins that are highly sensitive to heat, water. Then we also stand to lose potassium. So the IoTs that we then tried to then come up with a design to help us in that process. We spoke of temperature sensors and time trackers, also oil sensors, which then data can be collected in real time for those and sent maybe to a central dashboard where we're able to track and see if we're doing things that are consistent. Then the other thing was we can look at nutrient degradation. So maybe you can have a software that can estimate how much we are losing in the sense that temperatures, we can have time curves, oil freshness or indicators, food moisture loss, models that we can have as a reference data on the vitamins and the antioxidant stability. We also looked at smart packaging and consumer transparency. So that we say that our final product can have QR codes that are linked to the batch processing data. Consumers or retailers can scan to see, for instance, this batch was fried at 165 degrees Celsius for 4 minutes with fresh oil, etc. And then nutritional retention score can also be included in the data that is going to be in our QR code. Then we also have AI-driven optimization suggestion. Maybe, for instance, we can use machines or AI, like we had mentioned in the presentation, that analyzes our batches and then suggests to us the best frying times and temperatures, when to replace the oil, energy efficient baking cycles, so that we are able to then reduce our nutrient loss, which is the
Okay.
problem that we're trying to address. Thank you.
Thank you,
Hold on.
Zanzi. Thank you. Thank you. Well done to our group.
Group 4.
That was group 4. Group 4. Thank you, group 4. All right. Anne, group 2. Over to you. Anna.
Yes, I'm presenting from group number 2. Our product is sunflower oil, branded in the name of NAC sunflower oil. The nutrients that are found in sunflower oil is vitamin A, K, E, and A. During the process, we are losing vitamin A on hot pressing, and we get, and even on refinery. So what we are doing is we do the cold pressing to ensure that we don't lose the vitamin A for those customers who prefer virgin oil. But also for the refined one, we do fortification to add back vitamin A so that we ensure the vitamin A is back to the product. We use scan code to trace our product, where the customer can scan our QR code to find the quality of our products. We always say that we care for your health for every drop of oil that you are using. Thank you.
Thank you. Very well done. Anna in group 2. All right, group 5. I still can't see anyone from group 3. So let's go to group 5. Meeting room 5 very first. Thank you. Meeting room 5, who's presenting?
I can present for group 5.
Go ahead,
Group 5,
Fiona.
we're talking avocado. And in avocado, we can lose nutritional value during transportation. So the tools that we can use is real time to track when transporting. And then we can use quality assurance tools as well to check on the quality of the product until it gets to the market. Thank you.
Thank you. Group 5, that was meeting room 5. I didn't understand very well what which area of the value of the process of the stage, or which stage you chose and what the solution were. But because of time, let's move over to meeting room 6. Who's presenting for meeting room 6?
Ifenwa.
Meeting room 6, who's presenting, please?
Sorry, I thought I was in group 7. I don't know. Ifenwa, are we group 6 or 7, please? Sorry, Lee.
Oh, we are 7. We are 7. Sorry, we are 7.
Okay.
We are 7.
Just go ahead as we wait for. If you know, you can go ahead as we wait for group 6.
6.
Okay.
We're together with Shaban.
Okay, go ahead, Faith or Shaban. Shaban, I think you're presenting for 5.
On behalf of Shaban, he was to present for our group.
Go ahead, Faith.
Okay, so in our group, we chose beans. So we said that some nutrients can be lost during processing. It starts with the peeling of the beans, like the cover of the beans itself, to take out the color so that our flour should be white. So in the soaking process as well, we're trying to soak the beans so that they are clean, and then we peel out the cover of the beans so that we have to come up with a good quality flour, and then we put it in a dehydrator. So because the dehydrator has too much heat, it denatures the proteins in the process. And also after drying and doing all sorts, we also put them into a grinder, where the grinder produces heat, and then the proteins also can be denatured, and the vitamins can also get lost in the process. So that's what we discussed in our group.
All right, thank you. Thank you, meeting room 6. Over to Feinwa and meeting room 7.
Okay. Hello everyone. Presenting for group 7, and the name of our poultry farm is Great Organic Poultry Farm. We are into the production of spinach, and our process involves sourcing organic manure from poultry farms, which we use in our spinach farm, thereby ensuring that our vegetables are 100% organic. And we identify that if not preserved properly upon harvest, spinach can lose its nutritional value quickly. And this is why immediately after we harvest, first of all, we harvest our spinach in the mornings or evenings, ensuring that the temperature of the vegetables remain cool. And after which, we put it immediately into our solar-powered dehydrator. And we start to dehydrate at 62 degrees Celsius for the first 1 hour to ensure that the surface moisture on the spinach, dries off. And once this happens, we continue to dehydrate at 57 degrees Celsius. This ensures that the vegetables do not lose their nutritional value. After this, we package our dehydrated vegetables with airtight pouches made of high moisture barrier films, and our pouches have detailed nutritional information and QR code scanner to provide information on the day the vegetable was harvested and the process that followed upon harvest. Thank you.
Thank you. Well done, Fenyon and group 7. So I think there's one group that hasn't presented. Which team is it?
Yes, it's group 6.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm representing Doreen. She's on the road, so I'm sure network is bad. The product we chose for group 6 was honey, and what we do in our farm is that we have our bees that cultivates the honey, and so by the time we're harvesting the honey, we have a temperature checker that will check the right temperature of the honey we're going to sell. And it is usually between 16% and 18%. Anything less than that or more than that, that means the honey has not matured enough. And then in our processing, we transport the harvested honey in a secure manner using recycled boxes, whereby we ensure that our products are organically harvested and produced. And then in terms of
Sorry, we lost Samira.
I might have muted you accidentally, Farouk. So Samira, please go ahead.
Oh, sorry. I thought I was being heard. Okay.
Yeah,
I'm
had you. We had you.
representing.
No, we had
Okay,
you.
I'm
We had you.
representing groups.
You said you use recycled boxes.
Yes, we use recycled so that our customers are comfortable, that we use environmentally friendly packaging for our honey that we send to them. And we have a quality assurance in place, whereby if there's any issue in terms of our products, we have the customer feedback number whereby they can reach us. Thank you.
Thank you very
Thank you
much.
thank you so much. So probably just because of time, maybe today we're going to extend the session by about 5 minutes only. So please, everyone, just permit us 5 minutes.
That's fine.
Sorry, maybe not specific. You can just go respond to the overall presentation, and then we will just take one question, which I'll combine 2 questions from the Q&A. And then as usual, we're going to share the rest of the questions when we do the document. And Joseph is going to take his time to make sure he responds very well, succinctly to those questions. And then those will be shared with you when we're sharing the recording. But for now, Joseph, just respond to the general presentation. And number 2, respond to the issue of number 1, rural areas. What do people in the rural areas do? And number two, some of these like the platform that you have, which is AgTrail, there's the issue concern about the cost, because sometimes the turnover for these SMEs is very little for them to engage in this. What then would be the alternative for that? So just respond to those two questions, and then the rest we will respond to through the document so that we can complete 5 minutes past the top of the hour. Over to you, Joseph. Thank you.
All right, thank you. So I didn't get the first question, but let me start with the general comments. Thank you everyone for taking out time to brainstorm in the breakout room. It was really nice to hear different thoughts and different ideas. It was good to see how you're mapping out the different parts of the value chain and providing solutions, especially bringing in IoT solutions and other alternatives as well. And I liked the presentation from those groups that talked about, okay, we are done speaking about the processes, how we are ensuring that we are preserving the nutrients, but now this is how we are packaging it and this is how we are communicating with the consumers to ensure that they understand the value for which the value we are providing to them and the cost at which the product is going to be coming to them. So yeah, we should all apply this to our individual businesses and our operations and see how we can now start leveraging IoT, even in its smallest form, to ease operations, to document processes, to preserve nutrients, and also to increase our value that we are providing to our consumers, and also access premium markets, and also meet compliance standards. Okay, Lee, the first question, I didn't hear that. I had something about rural communities.
What are the alternatives available for people in the rural areas where maybe internet connectivity is a challenge?
Okay, so yeah, there are so many solutions out there in terms of traceability, especially AgriFood, that do not necessarily require you to use the internet. They work offline, and you can even use app sheets, Google Sheets, like I mentioned, for instance, as well. It works offline to a certain level, and when you move to a community where there is internet connectivity, it works well. We understand that in certain rural communities, they may not have digital devices or high-level devices like many of us on this call do have. So we have like agents that would go ahead to collect this data and also work with them closely, because one thing we've come to understand is many of these producers or processors just want to focus on their operations, but they are leaving a lot on the table when they are not documenting these processes, when they are not integrating technology into their solution, and they don't want to do it themselves. In terms of the pricings and the cost which you mentioned, one of our approach and the approach I would advise each and every one of us here to take up is to belong to a cooperative, to belong to either a cluster community, such that when you are part of this cooperative and cluster community, you are not just the only one paying for this. It's more of like shared ownership, because we understand that, let's say for instance, the maize producers cooperative within a particular location, they carry out almost all the same processes, they use almost all the same type of inputs, right? And they checkmate each other's activities to ensure that they all have access to the same market and almost the same prices. So when we are coming to that community, we are not speaking to individual farmers or individual producers, we are speaking to them as a cooperative. So the cooperative takes up the cost and we are able to provide these services to everyone as a whole. Any other question?
There's a question of concern around the cost of these devices for SMEs that are just struggling at the end of the day to even just make ends meet.
So yeah, with respect to that, I spoke about it when I was presenting earlier. And one thing I mentioned is you can actually start manually. The most important thing is at the moment is, are you keeping records? Or if you don't have the money to go get the big thermometer and the sensors, can you get a thermometer that can allow you take readings of temperature, right? The same thing for humidity and all that. If you don't have the finance to be able to plug into any traceability solution at the moment, at least do you have manual records of your own, either on paper, on book, or on Excel sheet or Google sheet or Microsoft Excel or Google document for a start. And from there, it's easier to migrate as well for you. And with that, AI is absolutely free. Anybody can open an account with either ChatGPT or with that is OpenAI, or with Meta AI, or with Gemini, and so on and so forth. And the scenario, the case study I gave earlier in terms of giving it prompts to help you create templates, you can also give it those prompts. It helps you create the template, and now you know the data you have to collect. You collect this data, you feed it back, and tell it to help you create like a document. it's easier to create QR codes now. Just go online and say QR code generator. Okay, QR code generator, and you're able to generate a QR code, link the document to the QR code, and you're good to go. I think the only thing you'll be spending money on is just the data that you use to carry out all those processes. You don't need to spend as much money as you think you want to spend. The most important thing is, are you ready to do the work to assess the premium markets that you want to assess? And are you ready to provide your consumers with value for what they are buying from you? That is transparent supply chain. Are you ready to build trust and loyalty amongst your customer base? Are you ready to assess premium markets? If you are ready to do all these things, then this simple process that I just outlined would not cost you anything from your own end, because at the end of the day, you would get the money back in ripple effect. What you are selling now for maybe $1, you can begin to sell for about $6 to $10 to a premium market that knows the value of the processes you've put into your production. Thank you. Any other question?
So because of time, we are exactly top of the hour. We will we'll respond to the questions the framework we've been responding to them through the document that will be shared to everyone. So please
Okay.
make sure to watch out for that alongside the recording and the slides that have been presented by Joseph today. We will also share documentations on AgTrail, and contacts to Joseph if you need to have access to the platform that for traceability. So thank you so much, everyone. So I would just want to give my colleague Betha a minute or two just to say something and to just do a vote of thanks, and then we will close for today until next week. Over to you, Betha.
All right. Thank you very much, everyone. Every week I get super excited because even myself, I realize that I'm learning a lot. A lot of learning is happening here. And I think if we really want to grow our businesses, we will go an extra mile. And I didn't know, actually, I'm learning from Joseph here, that actually I can use and access a lot of free, some of these free tools to do so. Maybe to give yourself an assignment, try to access some of those tools, chat, try to give yourself a sample exercise assignment with your product. Just explore, just learn about these things so that you can have a feel of what little it takes to do these things. It will be very, very important. Next week, we will be having another session. Lee, I can't remember what we're having next week. I was so focused on publicizing this week's session, but I think you will have a share of what we are doing next week, and we look forward to having you. Thank you very much for joining us and for continuing to learn. If there are any other extra questions, you can still send to Lee, and we will be able to address them as much as we can. And through this journey, we want to be as practical as we can. And now you are getting to know who is doing what. You are very free to be engaging some of these master teachers who are sharing these sessions with us. And they will be there to give you as much help as you can. So thank you very much. And yeah, I look forward to next week. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you so much, Betha.
Thank you so much.
We are not
Cheers.
closing yet. Sorry, don't
Thank you
leave yet.
so much.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
We are not closing yet. Please don't leave.
Thank you.
We are not closed. We are not closed.
So the last thing.
Lee has to wrap up.
Okay, so no, it's just one thing. So next week we'll be dealing with smart packaging. So please make sure you watch out for smart packaging and distribution. So that will be very exciting. I will have someone very experienced in the issues to do with packaging. And then watch out, please, for the video recording as well as the slides for Joseph and his contact details as well. So we look forward to you joining us again next week. And as usual, let's give Joseph value for her thank you by turning on our videos. Yes, please turn on your video for a minute. I'm repeating, next week, the session is on smart packaging and distribution.
Smart packaging.
Yes, smart packaging and distribution. Yes, please turn on your video if you can. Diane, Mulala, you're on my screen, and Matilda, but I can't see your faces. Thank you. Who's Dere? Nere Nyoni.
Thank you.
Okay, we have a full screen
Group
of
one.
people. Okay, I'm telling you
Thank
to switch your screen and my screen is off. All right, let's wave at Joseph and just give Joseph a good value for her. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you very much.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye. Thank you, everyone.
All right, thank you very much, Lee. Thank you very much.
Bye.
Peace and love.